the Chargers wide receiver room. We've got Ladd McConkey, who we're discussing right now, and then the addition of Tre Harris out of Ole Miss kind of revamps this target competition for Ladd, but I'm not necessarily scared of that. So my question to you guys is, are we buying or are we selling the wide receiver duo? For me, I'm absolutely buying. Ladd had a fantastic year one, finished as wide receiver 12, 112 targets, 82 catches, almost 1,150 yards, and he had 7 touchdowns on top of that. Really, really productive. He showed his skill set. He was open in space, and frankly, his competition was next to nothing. I mean, they were dying for some help for him. They go out and get one of my favorite players in the draft process, Tre Harris, and I think that's an absolute perfect pair. We can have Ladd McConkey be in the slot, be the guy that moves around in motion, creates space close to the line of scrimmage. Tre Harris can stretch that field. I'm absolutely buying both of these guys. I don't care that they're going to shark off of each other. I think Justin Herbert needed a second target, and I think he got it in Tre Harris. And I'm really excited to see what this offense can do. I don't know if you guys saw, but Jim Harbaugh said this morning on NFL Network that he woke up at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night and stood up and said, I need to make Justin Herbert a Hall of Famer. And that's what prompted him to say, I'm going to go get Amari Hampton. I'm going to go get Tre Harris. I'm going to invest in this offensive line. So I'm buying the Harbaugh hype. He's a weird character, but I love him. So I'm buying the wide receivers in L.A. Tyler, let's go with you first. What are your thoughts on Ladd and Tre Harris?
Yeah, I mean, I agree wholeheartedly. I was actually going to bring up the Harbaugh fact. If you didn't, but you believe everything he says as a coach. This offense, I'm excited to see where Justin Herbert goes. How many times he throws the ball this year? I think you're getting ready to have your Keenan Allen and Mike Williams 2.0. I think you've got the younger version of the two. Ladd being that intermediate short route guy that can just get open, and Tre Harris being the downfield threat. So I enjoy both of these guys. I actually just got my first share of Tre Harris today. I stuck and I picked him because I was super excited, and I wanted him in at least one Dynasty draft. So I got him there, and I'm excited. I think this could actually be a very high-powered offense. There's questions that people have had of if they can even win the AFC West. I think that's a little more difficult of a task, but I think they're up to it, especially if Harbaugh can coach and back up some of the things he's saying. So, Coach, how do you feel about these guys? Are you buying, selling? What's your thoughts?
Man, as Matt would say, I'm wheels up on the entire Chargers offense right now. There is so much going in a positive direction there that it's really exciting. I am a full believer in Harbaugh and what he can do. I mean, the dude's just a winner. And Tre Harris, to me, is the perfect complement to Ladd McConkey, like you guys have talked about. Herbert couldn't have a better combination there. I personally think Herbert is underrated, and now he's got more and more weapons to go around him. He had a lethal running game last year, and now he has a complement to Ladd McConkey. I mean, if you're a Chargers fan, you got to be ecstatic. And to me, you're trying to buy these two guys anywhere you can get them. Matt has sold me on Tre Harris for 2 months now. And I've drafted him multiple times, and he's made a believer out of me, and I hope we end up being right on that.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm sitting here staring at my roster ship. I have Tre Harris in 25% of my leagues, so I am committed to it. I really expect Tre Harris to be an impactful player year one. I think it's going to be a lot like Ladd McConkey, where he's going to step into that role and just immediately produce. If you go back and watch his tape, he's fantastic. He only played 8 games at Ole Miss, and he was great. He was an all-SEC wide receiver. Like Coach said, Harbaugh can flat coach, man. He's good at what he does, and I'm fully bought into this Chargers system and this Chargers offense. So I'm going to go out there and buy. If you're going to pay 2 firsts, like Juan did, to go get Ladd McConkey, and even if you give that small plus of Marshawn Lloyd, I don't care. That's fine. I'm comfortable with that. If I have the 201 or the 202 in a rookie draft, buy Tre Harris. He's falling there repeatedly, and I think his upside is extremely high. He has the ability to be a big-time playmaker in the NFL. He didn't get a first-round draft capital, but that shouldn't scare us off. He was drafted in the second round. The Chargers got their guy. So I absolutely love this Chargers offense going forward, and I'm targeting them. Like Coach said, I'm going to go get whatever piece I can get. Let's not forget they added Najee Harris. They added Amarian Hampton. They added a Rondé Gadsden, which has been one of our sleeper tight ends that we've talked about for several months. So I really like what they've done. I like what Justin Herbert's getting. He's probably the biggest benefactor of all of this. But as far as it goes for the two wide receivers in LA, I could not be happier for the pairing. It is a match made in heaven between Tre Harris and Ladd McConkey. Tyler, any final thoughts there?
No, man, I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, like you said, we've brought up Gadsden for months, as being a sleeper. And then along with Tre Harris and now Ladd as well, I think Herbert's ceiling just continues to go up. He's definitely a player that I'm looking into as far as maybe I can acquire a share of him here or there. But it should be interesting. I think this should be a high-powered offense. And they're going to have balance regardless. They'll be able to run the ball as well as throw it, and that will open up the entire field for that offense. So you have offenses where they get a little one-dimensional at times, and I don't think this will be the case for them.